Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of, well, art. Another commission stream, basically. Hi, Alice. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Yesterday, we got full confirmation on the pieces I'm actually going to be doing for the emote set and the badges and what have you. The hats have yet to be determined which style we're going to use, but we did agree on the style and which of the emote reactions we agree upon. So we have a 100% yes confirmed set of 6 for the YouTube side, and then we have like a 3 extra bonus ones because I think you can upload 7 to YouTube in total, and for the last one we couldn't narrow it down, so we're going to do 3 bonus, and they'll be available over on his Discord if they're not used on the YouTube side of things. So either way, they'll all be put to good use, I'm sure. Anyway, what I'm forgetting something. I could swear to it, but we'll see how this goes. I've got a coffee and I better remember it because otherwise it's gonna get cold very quick. So I have a bunch of stuff over here in my I'm struggling with words today. In my layers, I have a bunch of groups. Obviously, this is our base image, which I've got separately so that I can just keep hold of this. But we have our confirmed emotes as well. So we have a hype, which I redlined out for confirmation. We have shocked. We have a cry. We have anger. We have the heart, holding heart, which may also end up with heart eyes, but that's not like a set in stone thing yet. We have the crying, laughing, obviously. And then for some bonus ones, we have a couple in here that I have put away. Like, obviously, we had some of the sketches that were, like, possible contenders. But we ended up on thinking facepalm and coffee. And I'm not going to spoil these for you because these have been, rather than redlined the way I usually do it, these have been blacklined for potentially a future poll or vote as to which one should be added to the membership scheme later on down the line. I have a personal favorite here, but I'm not gonna spoil that for you just in case that's what happens down the line. Otherwise, I'd share those with you. A couple of people have had some spoilers, but that's because I can't help myself. I'm not going to spoil everybody though. Okay. So, I think we should get on with doing some rendering, color work, whatever you want to call it. So, which one do we feel like doing today? Any preference? Because we've got a bunch of options. Got 6 options to choose from for the emotes rendering. And obviously, after I've done the first outline and base colorings, then obviously the rendering the rest of them is going to get a lot easier because then it's just small tweaks and changes for certain parts. So which one do we want to go for first? I'm thinking something that doesn't have too much of the base covered. Shocked would be a good place to start because he doesn't have hands on his face. Anger would also be a good place to start, and laughing. So we can do... So we can do a poll for this. Shock, laugh, or Angie. Does that even go through? Why did it disappear? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Because these are all ones that don't have his hands over his face, and we'll deal with that handy situation later. And of course, we already have some... I actually rendered up one of the hat sections. So I made a color palette for them. And I rendered up some of the cartoony style ones. So we've got 4 options, obviously, for Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi. So we've got these on the go. Currently, but this isn't the only style we're going to be looking at for these. Because obviously we've got the other angles and the other style as well, that I'm probably going to render out all of these and see which ones we prefer, because that's going to be more permanent. They're not going to like change around or anything. Here's Lurkin. Alice off to do the lurky turkey. Off to do the lurky turkey. Okay, looks like laugh is gonna be our first one so far. Which is all good, all fine. It's a good start, nice positive start, because to be fair, the other options are a little bit, might leave you a little bit shooketh. You'll be in shock too. So let's start off on our laugh. Now, did I put the lettering separately? I did. Great. So I can hide this for a start. I'm actually gonna come into this folder and I'm gonna put in another group. And I'm gonna call this my red line. And shove all of these inside that folder. Not disappear them off of the face of the earth, please and thank you. There we go. And these, it doesn't really matter what order they go in, because they're all... Why does it do this? No, do not disappear it. Put it in folder. So there is my red line. What's this one? Oh, that was a separate eye option that I gave it. Where are our eyes? I don't know. Somewhere. Probably in a whole other folder somehow. Okay, so now we've got our red line up and out of the way. So we can do our actual color base. And I'm just gonna bung this in the folder. Let me rename this so I don't mistake it for something else. This is my sketch. If I could spell, that would also be great. Which was obviously our initial sketch on top of the base that we had. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a palette. So for a palette, I probably actually want to do it outside of here. Put it over down here with the base. So that this isn't hiding away in a folder when I need it somewhere later down the line. So let me go and grab my reference images. Right, at least a reference image from somewhere. Easiest place to grab one from will obviously be Discord. Now I think at the moment BuBubbi is using more of the grey, but I know that sometimes his character uses a more like brownish gingery look. So I'm just gonna steal an image off of the Discord real quick, and I'm gonna come in here, make it somewhere to go, and paste it in. This little character here. Now it doesn't need to be massive, it's just a reference image after all. I'm actually gonna come in with an eraser and erase some of this image around what I need. Doesn't gotta be neat, just gotta do the job. Because this does not have a crop function. The fun of using cheap software by cheap software I mean free software as it doesn't come with all of the tools you might expect. Anyway, that will do for our reference for now. It might be a bit weird if I decide to move this image around, but it is what it is. So from this, I'm gonna make my palette, so it's gonna help if I come off of this, shrink down that eraser before I have regrets. I'm gonna up the size on my inking pen so I'm not doing massive amounts of scribbling. Let's grab a skin tone base off of here to begin with. This is a very light colour. I don't think it's going to come across very well. I might come somewhere more here. A little bit more orangey. Although I don't hate the initial colour. Let's see where we can go from here. If we keep the initial skin tone as the highlight, we could always go for like a a warming and cooling situation for some, like, let's say here's a nice shadow for it. And like a true highlight. Although I don't like that one. But those two there is like a base for the skin is not terrible. I'm going to move this up because I'm going to want some space. So here's a good start for some skin, some pink and fleshy tones going on. The nose is a kind of orangey peachy colour. So this is what it grabs off of the nose. I'm going to do like a touch either side of it. No, I like this one best. So this is the one we're going to go for. We're going to keep it more orange for the nose. Eyes are a very true blue. A grey blue. I'm going to colour this one over here. I might saturate this one a little more. I'm going to leave both of these options here for in case I change my mind as I'm doing things. So this would be pupil for this one. Pupil is actually kind of a purpley colour. If I grab it more blue purple and maybe saturate and darken it a little bit and then put that as the pupil colour from the blue that I made. Because this is a lot more pastel. Usually I do much poppier colours, so I might come back to these. Let's see what we grab off of the hair. Like there are going to be a bunch of different shades in this. But actually, I might do almost like I did for the logo design and do the blonde hair and the red beard, even though that's not attainable on Animal Crossing. I feel like that's more true to life, so that could be like my addition to this. So this might be beard color. So if we grab this and drag down here, so I know that this is going to be my beard color. Hi Gamer King. And we can always grab a couple of more different shades off of here, see which we prefer from which parts of the character, because we've got a lighter tone in here as well. Got a much darker part in here. So here's a good range for the beard kind of color. I might make something a little bit more orange. Let's see where this sits if I make it a little bit more orange. We'll see. We shall see. Because like I said, these aren't particularly saturated colours right now. The clothing is obviously not going to be this shirt. That'll be something that we decide later on the ones that have like the arms visible and stuff like that. Like, it might end up being that we go for more like the short-sleeved madras shirt like we did on the logo, rather than anything that his character has ever worn. Like, that might be a more personalized option to go for. I understand that the pupils are not visible on this, but still. These are just for the base colors right now. I think that's a start for a palette. So if we leave that there for a second and come in here, drop myself a cheeky layer. Actually, one thing I might want to do if I do decide to go blonde hair and red beard is I might want to grab something up in this range. Like a sandy colour. Don't like this one. Something a little bit more like this. And add some colour variation into that that's like lightening it. In fact, I think the lighter one could also do with a little bit more yellow in it, maybe. Yeah, I prefer that. That looks good to me, personally. Ooh, fist bump the mic. That's always a good start. There's a palette. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to take the skin tone. And I'm going to actually... I always outline first. So if I say this is my base colour for the skin tone, so this is going to be like an all over type affair for anywhere that there's going to be skin tone. Oh, I'm on top of the red line and not below it. Awkward. So if this is going to be like under all of this part. It's literally going to fill in all of this, which I can literally come in and do this. Then I want something just ever so slightly darker to... Actually, do I even need an outline for this? I might outline the hair. So I might not need a skin outline for this. Like, maybe I'll have skin outline here and the rest of this will be hair outline. I might not need an outline colour for this. But actually, I'm gonna make one anyway. But just in case I do want it. So I'm probably gonna grab a little bit more orange for it. And maybe go somewhere down here. I think maybe that's a little bit too much down there. Come up a little bit more. That's closer. there, that's the colour. So if I come in at about a 5 on my inking pen and I like slam a line on this, basically, you can see that this is a different colour, but it's not like screaming at you. So something like this is ideal. Because I'm not going, I don't think I'm going heavy shading on this. So I don't need it to be too much darker than this, I don't think. Let me grab like, I don't know, 10. And it should just disappear. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see. And I'm gonna actually go down to my palette and I'm gonna put that up here. Gonna come back into my base colour. Add in another line. I think actually I'm gonna be better at keeping these things separated, so I'm gonna do skin. No, go in the folder, not above the folder. Above the folder doesn't help me. And then maybe we'll put a line. The only place that I think I'm actually gonna have a line which would be along this area here. Hide this red line for a second just to make sure I'm not a wobbly mess over here. I'm going to keep these two sidelines separate. I think that one's a wobbly mess. Yes, it is. Maybe it needs a little bit more correction on this one. That's better. And then maybe do this one as well, because I don't know whether this is going to be a hair situation or a skin situation, whereas this is obviously a fringe. So that might be all I need for the skin for the base colours. Over the top of that, we are going to want some hair situations. So actually we're going to want the ears as well. We can do them all separately. Let's go for some ears. And the ears should work if I mirror this-ish. Come in and grab my base colour and scribble on some ears. Fill her in. Overline it just to make sure. Oh, I forget that it doesn't do that on both sides. Silly thing. I was trying to be a bit cheatsy doodle, and it didn't work out the way I had intended, but that's okay. We get there. We got 2 coloured in ears, and then we want 2 ear outlines, which I'm definitely going to do this for. Come up and grab my ever so slightly darker colour. Come in for some correction. Not a 5, maybe a 3. And I'm going to start all the way down here, follow our red line, and then come in further than I think I need. Hide our red lines, take a look at that. Is it wholly disagreeable? I don't like it. I think it needs to be a bit bigger on the bottom, because I actually quite like the shape that we got with the red line. That is much better to me. And it should copy exactly the same over here. Looks good to me. Good, 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 good. And on top of this one, we can have maybe the beard, because the beard is a focal point. In this group, we are going to have whatever we choose to be our base color for the beard. So let's pick like a mid-range color, not the lightest we have, but not a dark one either. And let's scribble some color on that one as well. Might want to bring this up so that I'm not work smarter, not harder, and all of that jazz. Just literally follow my red line. Oh, I forgot that I've still got this on. I can always come in and fill that in as well. And I think that should cover all of it. It looks like it does to me. I quite like this colour, but I feel like it's not orange enough. I feel like it's too red. So I might actually pull this up a little bit and see how we feel about it. I still have an image of BuBubbi somewhere from when we did the logo scenario in all of our messages ever. There is a way to search this, isn't it? Easy to reach. This one. Somewhere in here, in all of the reference images, yeah, there's the scary photo itself. It is a lot more orange in the beard than it is red. I don't need anything. I've got all of the things I need. I'm just trying to pick some colours. So maybe we add in even more orange. Maybe saturate it a little bit more. I quite like that colour. Personally, that feels better. Oh. Trying to do things on layers that I'm not actually on. Which would mean, let's call it darker colour. Grab this one back for a lighter colour. If we want to go like real dark, straight down from here into something more like this. There. Something more like that. I think that's better. Because I get that this is red, but we're not going fully off of the Animal Crossing character, because I've also got over on my Discord pulled up an image of your face. And I feel like your beard is more like the orangey ginger than it is literally red brown. That's the conversation I'm having with myself right now. So we're gonna come in here. We don't need this no more. But I can come in here, grab a 5 back. I think, do we go dark outline? Because the beard, I feel like, is going to need more shaping. This is why I made 2 options for the darkness of this situation. I know which colour I prefer. Actually, I kind of don't like either of them for the idea of an outline, so maybe we grab something different. Something more in here. Trying to choose my outline colour. Gonna be in here somewhere. That's too orange. That's also too orange. Maybe we add back in some of the red for it. Maybe that would make a better outline. I think it does. I think that makes for a better outline colour. So if I go back down to here, I'm actually going to remove my other colour options, because clearly I'm not happy with them. And I'm going to add in this. What's happened to my music? Nothing. It's still playing. This is just happening to be the song that has a bit of a blank spot at the end. Okay. Now we can come in and do some lines. And this is going to be a lot of doing the same line and it looking exactly the same to some people, but not to me. Pretty much always the case when I do these. So that's a no from that one. Actually, I can do this with the half and half. With the mirror line. Because this is a very symmetrical face. This. I'm happy with this line. Then go to another one, re-show that red line. My watch is telling me to stand up and have a good stretch already. Maybe that's a sign that it's time, coffee time. Just get all of the gulps. This is now like ASMR channel. Hi Riches, welcome in. First time watcher. Well, I have seen you before, so that's a thing at the very least. I know who you are. This line I make far too long, surprise, surprise. That's a wiggle line. That one looks good to me. Oh, wrong thing. This one much better. Welcome in anyway. I hope you are having a wonderful day. We're just having a chill one and doing some art today. These are going to be my emote designs for BuBubbi, who was here earlier, and I didn't put in his command for his link or anything. How rude. But that's a thing that exists here. So let's keep slamming on some lines. That was a horrendous line. Thank you very much. I'm glad you think so. That's a decent line. And now the dreaded top line. Not looking forward to doing this line here because it's like an S. It's gonna take me like 100 times to get this right because it took me about 100 times to get it to a point where I was happy with it when I was doing the red line. But hopefully, if I just follow it. I hate that. It's wobbly. It's wobbly. Maybe if we put a little bit more correction on for this one. Which I don't usually like doing because it pings it all kinds of out of place. I feel like it's a little bit straight here, but we can see what it looks like. It is indeed a little bit straight there. That felt like it pinged very well. That I'm not unhappy with. So we can go back to regular angle. I feel like that is a decent shape. I'm actually gonna immediately come in and clean up all of this mess. Just because it makes it easier to visualize what it's gonna look like. Even with the little guy peeking out down here, my little reference image. Even though technically he doesn't need to be there any longer. Oh yeah, I didn't say that you had gone. I just said that I hadn't posted your link when you first arrived. I'm not even gonna pretend that you've disappeared. I know that's not a thing that happens. Let's maybe clean up some of these lines too. Because why not? No, these aren't quite so important to be clean because they're going to be hidden by a lot of things for the most part. Hi Ari, welcome in. Good to have you here. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. That should clean up both sides for me. It does indeed. Is that? That's a hole in this layer, isn't it? Is it? Oh, I'm of course on the wrong color. It does appear to be. Even though that would have been from the fill tool, which is concerning. But okay, I guess. So we can unhide this. And then we need to erase like a slight top bit of this line here. Just so it's not poking through. Which is a good start. And add my red line back in for the rest of the face. Just so, you know, getting that visualization for what's going on here. And then I think we're going to come in with some of the blonde locks. So let's grab our mid-range color. Add myself in another group. I'm going to go hair, obviously. I'm going to throw a base color down on here. Let's grab like a 20. In fact, hair is going to be a mix of on top and underneath the skin layer. So this is going to be interesting. But we're going to do on top for now. Work in order. And then the parts that need to be put underneath, we can shuffle around. I've just realised I'm on mirror when I shouldn't be. We don't colour inside the lines here. I don't want to contain you to that kind of box. You do you. Whatever makes you happy. You know, whatever gets you where you're going. That's what you do. So those are all of the pieces of hair. And now you can see the kind of look that we're going for. We got the blonde hair, the red beard, the white skin, which is going to be our base for all of the images. I'll probably do obviously the mustache and the nose and the glasses as a part of the base image as well. And then we will copy and paste that to the others and do the edits. So this is going to be fun. Fun. So let's grab our darker colour, add in another layer on here. Will this do for our outline? Or do we want something darker? I'm thinking darker. Or maybe just a little bit more saturated would be better. I mean, I don't hate it as a color combination. It'll do. And if we decide we hate it, we can change it. That's a possibility. We're gonna come around and do all of the outlines. Should probably put on some correction for this. Do absolutely every single line separately, so that when we come across one that I'm like, this line does not look right to me, I can just remove it. I can find it, remove it, do it again, and be like, yep, that's right. I already know that that's gonna be removed, so let's do that one again. That is a very straight line, which is not quite what I had intended, but that's okay. Let's not put in that top line just yet. Maybe... Actually, no, we should. We should just put it all in as one line though, from peak to peak, so that it flows better. I'm actually gonna check that one, which actually is not a terrible line anyway. That one I do not like. Should learn to follow my red lines better. But some motions just don't come particularly naturally. Some come more naturally than others, and that also is okay. I'm just trying to not tilt the canvas as much as I probably usually would, because I think it makes for awful viewing. Although, to be fair, being zoomed in this far also looks like 144p in an image of this size, so probably doesn't make for the best viewing anyway. And then we're gonna do the same again for, let's say, at least this is where hairline starts. I know that much for sure. This is going to lie on top of the skin. I don't want that to be a straight line. This was drawn a little bit wobbly on purpose. Actually, we are gonna go and remove this one and try that one again. Something more like this. Before we swoop in for this one. There we go. And I think maybe this section will be hair and it'll stop somewhere down here. We'll see. We shall see. So I'm gonna do something a little bit backwards that I usually wouldn't do. I'm gonna ignore the bottom ones for now because I think they're actually gonna be an underlayer, let's be honest. They're not gonna be up here with the rest of us. Because these groups are not in the right order right now. But we can move those around because, I mean, beard is probably going to end up on top. For sure. And what else do we have? Let me close this layer for a second. It is also going to be over the top of the hair. So yeah, there are some layer shenanigans that might need to be shuffled, but let's clean up some of this nonsense right now. Even though not all of these lines are like 100% perfect, they're some pretty good lines still. Do 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 do. Honestly, already image 10 out of 10. If I do say so myself. Okay, the like point of this little flick of hair, not a fan. So we might redo that one. Let's finish cleaning up all of this first. while we're on this layer, and then we can go through the line layers. Let's get this a little bit closer to that red line. There we go. Just so I can come in and hide the red line and take a look at these hair lines. Okay, so we went from left to right, from bottom to top. So good line, good line, good line. End of this one needs cleaning up just here. I think good line, good line. This one could do with tucking under. Don't ask me why. But I can like, oh, no, not that far under, but under that flick. Where these two join are like, not fully sold, but it's not awful. This here, there's something not quite right here. I think it's this line where these two join. So I'm gonna remove that one and we're gonna add it in, and we're gonna redo that, but without the red line to distract me. So I'm gonna take the tip of this and follow it round. Do it a couple of times to see how we feel about it. Somewhere more like that. Could always come back into this one and clean up the corner a little bit maybe. Something like that. That looks a little better to me. This line, I already checked. Pretty happy with that. This one, fine. Where this joins, doesn't matter too much. Does look a little bit empty in that join, which should be this line. Just come in and beef it a little bit more at the top and shave it down at the bottom. I think this one should also be under its flick of a counterpart. Hi, Jam. Where it comes up here and flicks down, fine. Like I said, this right here, which should be these two lines, 120, 121. Which one is touching the edge? 120 is touching the edge, and we are not here for it. So 120 can go, and we can add in another one and redo that line. Oh, there is a thing going on. We're getting raided by Andrew Crossing, and we're not even playing Animal Crossing today. Let's go and grab a link from in here somewhere. Oh, how rude of me. I'm not subscribed to Andrew Crossing. Well, dang. How did we end up like this? Welcome in, everybody. Let me drop Andrew Crossing's link. Obviously, we got to be doing this for the people who come in and show some support. Who we got coming in? We got Animal Crossing player Matty Moon. I know you. We've got Emily the Kitty, Strawberry Crossing, Emma Sigma Foos 12, Abram Anderson. We also know Grandfeth Abram. Welcome in, everybody. And then, of course, Andrew Crossing themselves. Thank you very much for the raid. I am doing great today. We are doing some artwork, some Animal Crossing style emotes, like a little selection for our good friend BuBubbi, who is also here. So I might as well slam that command in here while you guys are here, in case you don't know who he is. He's hit 1K recently, so we're working on some emotes for his memberships when that comes around. And that's basically what we are doing here today. I think we've got a pretty solid base going on at the moment. Like, this is his character, and then on my other screen, but not to scare the rest of you, I have a picture of his actual face. I'm doing Animal Crossing style, but looks a little bit more like he does in real life. Because obviously in Animal Crossing you can't have a different beard and hair color, but in real life he most definitely does. So we're going like combination of the two. I've got my sketches, which are in the thumbnail. If I come in and I hide this one, because this layer is a mess, and I hide this one. Let's hide all of my messy layers, and we can show you what we have been working on the last time around. So at the moment we are working on our laugh emote, which is what people voted for to work on first. But we've got a couple of options. We got a lovely heart option. We got an angry boy option. We got the crybaby option. We got absolutely shocked. We got a hype, because who doesn't need to hype it up today? And we've got some other reactions that were options, but today we're doing our laugh reaction, which will be something along these lines when it's done. And hopefully some of you guys stick around. I forgot the grey hairs. They're in amongst the blonde. I haven't added in any of the like extra texture and details, to be fair. I could add in some grey hairs, like especially around the edges just here. You know, maybe a couple in the beard. There's always some greys hiding in that beard. But we'll see. We'll see if we add in some greys. Maybe. Now let's go back to where we were. We had just added in a layer, and we were hiding our red line to fit in some line work a little bit better here. Maybe I should work from it the other way. So if I grab it from down here and work the other way, it might be a little bit better. I think that is much better. Yeah, because that follows the line a little bit better as well. Like this is a bit of a wobbly line. Which one's that one? We'll come back to that in a minute. We might redo that one. But here we also went from side to side. So we started upwards here. So this is a good join. We've got a good solid join here. This is where our problems start. There's the join between these two just here is a little bit weird. But then of course this is also like a parting. So maybe it's okay that it's a little bit weird. Or maybe, I tell you what we could do, because this one, I could just shuffle this one around a little bit. Let's see where we join up. Something a bit more like this is a little bit better. And we can come back to this flick, which should be this line. And I might redo this one. Thank you very much so, Emma. I appreciate that. We are trying to do this line to make it a little bit more of a natural angle for my wrist, so I'm not hurting myself. We're gonna change the angle of this up a little bit. Start from the bottom so that I'm getting a good point, a good join between those two lines. Follow it round. I don't have any correction on, so that's gonna look absolute mess. Maybe we need a little bit more corrective going on here, because it's a little bit more of an S shape. Let's rotate that back around and take a look. It is a little bit better. We have done the same thing that we did before though, which is it looks a little bit hollow up here. Let's change this join up a little bit. There we go. So far, pretty happy with that. Pretty darn happy with that. I think what I am gonna do is I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna use my erasey in something a bit bigger to get rid of these, because these are going to be on a different layer because they've got to go underneath. I'm gonna close up this one. Or actually, did I have to do that? No, I didn't, because I've now put the beard on top where it should be. So where's the one? That's the one we're not sure of. So let's join the rest of these together, because I'm pretty happy with the rest of this. Now that it's all cleaned up, we can merge all of these into one. Don't want to merge everything, just the outline. And there. And then in here, separating these two, because this is up top and these are at the bottom. I'm going to put it at the bottom so that my brain knows what's occurring. Put this back down a size. I'm going to show that red line again so I can have a good idea of where I had the idea of this line being. And I'm gonna come in and do the outline for this. Drop this back down because these are shorter lines. Somewhere a middle point. I don't want this to be a straight line. I'm on erase. I was like, why did that not do anything? And if anybody enjoys doing like Animal Crossing art, absolutely any art, like please feel free to head over to our Discord to share your artwork, your fan art for another creator, anything. Honestly, I'd love to see it. I will myself occasionally do fan art for other creators that I enjoy. Maybe, I don't know if I have a fan art stream on this channel or whether I did that one when I was trying out Twitch, which I don't really like. It was an idea for the art streams because they've got like an art section, but honestly, I'm not a fan of Twitch as a platform. I don't think it has some nice options, but it's just, this is what I'm used to. Just do this line 100 times. Which actually I could do a mirror of, because I'm pretty sure these are a mirror of each other. Do this one, and then you use that as a place to do the other one. I can go and hide my red line, see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. Come in here and erase some of this. Make sure that my points are crispy. Looks pretty crispy to me. Looking good. Although something I clearly didn't erase very well up here. So those can go join together. I might as well join it all together, honestly. So there is a decent base. A decent base. I think the only thing that we might need to do is we've got some lines under here. Let's combine these together, and I actually want to come into here and I want to grab them and copy them. Hide this. Come back into, hello, can we not click off of this? Excuse you. Come back into here and put them between these two. So on top of our color layer, but underneath the outline, I want them to come in here so that we've got a nice crispy line where it's skin rather than hair, to see how we feel about that. I'm not actually sure about that now that I've done that. I almost prefer it lineless. Or I could always come in and manually do a different line, because obviously the positioning might be better off being slightly different. Yeah, let's manually chuck in a line or two. Let's chuck in at least one over here. At least one to go from like the beard kind of area up to this line. Detest that line. I feel like my correction's still working. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's doing much for me. Prefer these lines. Let's join those together for a second and come out of here. And maybe what we actually want to do is, let's not remove that, let's hide it for now. Are we still all covered? No holes, all Gucci. Maybe we should change this to a more obvious colour so I can see any imperfections in my colouring. We can see some imperfections in my erasing up here. Wow, messy, 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 messy. How dare I make such a mess? And over here, wow. There's gonna be more. I know there's gonna be more. There's always more. And another one over here. Gosh, dang. But honestly, actually, in the colouring itself, within the hair and the skin and the beard, I haven't left any obvious holes. So that's a good start. Like, we might need to clean up some lines in places. But it's not terrible. Not yet. There's time left in the day for that. But this is a good base. Happy with this base. I'm gonna label this one. Just so I know why it's in here. Oh no, it's just that it's too long for that. I was like, how did I miss the E on the words skin outline? It's just that it's too long to be shown all of it on here. I was like, how? I know I'm bad at spelling, but not that bad. Okay. So we got a good base. We got a decent base. Now we just gotta put a face on it. Oh no, I tell you what we do have to do. We gotta do the moustache. So let's go into beard. I'm gonna actually join up all of the lines in here as well. In fact, did we even double check the lines on the beard? I don't remember. Yes, we did. We already checked the lines on the beard. That's okay. I thought I had made an awful mistake then. Hello, Red Raven. Welcome in. How are you today? I hope you're well. So we got a good base. Let's say The things that are going to be unchanging, we're going to put in the mustache in the beard layer, and we're also going to do the glasses, because the glasses are going to be on every emote reaction. So we should at least put those in on our base before we start putting in like, oh, and the nose, obviously the nose. How can we forget the nose? Gosh dang. Maybe I should add in some groups. So I'm gonna do like nose. Nose probably needs to be below the beard, so just so I don't have to clean up that line. Got our mustache, and our glasses can go up top. They can be over everything. Just so I know what I'm doing. But for now, we're gonna work on the moustache. Saw you were streaming on Narwhal's Discord. Came to see what you were about. Also trying to remember when you came around on his. It has been a while since I headed over to Narwhal streams. If I'm honest, when he was doing the trying to 100% Animal Crossing before all of the 2.0 stuff came out, I used to chill with him on late night streams while he was doing decorating and things like that, and be like, you should put this here, you should do that there, or come around maybe during Minecraft when he was doing like a build and have my like design input. So it hasn't been years, but it's maybe been a couple of months. Mainly because, well, the world reopened after Corona since then. And I had to go back to work, so I sort of fell out of a lot of the streams that I used to watch. And he is one that I also haven't kept up with, if I'm honest. I haven't kept up with the majority of the streamers I used to enjoy watching, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, literally both. Literally both, because they're basically what I do here as well on this channel. Do Animal Crossing and Minecraft. Let's see what the moustache looks like on this. So it's actually separated on this, but I'm gonna keep it following this same line at the top, and it is more curly than what I've drawn on here. And let's see the IRL moustache. Is much more straight and much less curly. So I feel like I made a good design choice here for like a combination of the two. Thank you, Nightbot, for your service. I appreciate everything you do. And I'm also gonna report this spam bot, because nobody likes a spam bot. Spam bot smell. Ooh. And Red Laven has just subscribed. Thank you very much. Oh, we got a Pange coming in. We definitely have a command for Pange. Gonna take off though for some gaming. Enjoy your games, whatever it is that you are playing tonight. And thank you very much for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time it is, wherever you may be. Yeah, it's pretty darn cute right now, I have to admit. I think I'm doing a good one on this one. which obviously is completely wrong. I'm going to have to scrap this at the end and make it less cute because that's not true to life. I said these things on purpose because I saw that BuBubbi chimed in. Can't be inflating his ego too much now. I can literally hear his voice going, hey! I can hear it. The program that I am using at the moment is called Autodesk Sketchbook, and it's actually a free program. There are a bunch of things that you can't do on it. Like you can't even crop an image on this, technically speaking. So it is like limited for, it's not like Photoshop where you can also do photo editing and stuff like that. Like this is purely an illustration. It's like a souped up version of Paint, basically. Like I could probably do this on Paint, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Because I like having all of my layers. I need this. And I need my brushes options too. This is souped up Paint. It's free though, so it's worth a try if you want to consider doing your own stuff. Maybe do it. Try it. Yeah, there is a bunch of brush options that come with it. You can pay for more brush options, but there's like a load of stuff you can do. There's some weird brush options for different things. I generally don't tend to use the majority of them. I tend to stick to some of the more basic stuff. And then if I need a bit of texture, I might grab something else out of here. But yeah. We got some options. They also do have some like Copic bunch of stuff as well for different color options for if you're used to doing things with the Copic library. They've got some brushes and stuff from there. Gotta go. That is okay. I am not keeping you here. Come and go as you please. Enjoy the rest of your day and whatever it is that you are doing today. So let's get as close in as I can. Do I want to make this mustache more curly is the question now. Like, first of all, I don't like this line, so we're going to redo that line for sure. I also don't like this line. Is it not? Let's go more correction on this. Why is it not correcting me? It's like, no, this looks good. It might do to somebody, and I know that it's going to be tiny and nobody is going to notice these imperfections, but I will notice them, and that's the part that counts. Especially because if this is going to be the base for all of them, you might as well get the base right at the very least. There we go. That's a good line. I will accept this line in all that it is. This is a pleasing line. Now, do we do more curly or we do rounded like I did for the base sketch? So let's grab from here and do the more rounded example. And then hide that and maybe try and improv a little bit more of a curly example. So let's hide my red line so it's not going to distract me. And do a dip in before we come back up. Looks pretty good. Or do we prefer a more full option? This line is actually terrible. I'm gonna redo this line. There. So do we do full or do we do curly? Honestly, I like them both. Like, curly is much more like the Animal Crossing style beard that is in use. But this does sort of suit the art style a little bit more, in my opinion. It's been discontinued. Well, honestly, that doesn't surprise me. The entire time I've had this, it's had like one update. So that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense as to why it hasn't received any updates recently. I was kind of waiting for it to be like re-released as a paid thing and then be like, okay, you can no longer use this. You need to now pay for this thing that you've been using for free the whole time. So let's do I'm gonna spell mustache wrong on purpose. And we're gonna do which mustache? We're gonna do thick boy right here or curly boy. Yeah, don't uninstall this ever. I'm literally gonna sell the hard drive that this is on someday for like, I don't know, $1 million because you literally cannot get this application any longer. So far we're liking the curly. Oh, we got some action for thick. Got some action for thick. Obviously in our red line we've done thick on all of them, but honestly it won't make any difference to the actual emotes themselves. So if I go and grab a red line from somewhere else, if I drag it on top, let's go and grab our Angie red line and put it up here somewhere so that you can see it over the top of this, and then unhide it. It'll still work even with a more curly mustache. It'll work either way. It's looking like we're going for curly, which is definitely more true to the Animal Crossing beard, so I have no issues with this. I am going to keep my thick boy line, however, just in case. Just in case there is a moment where I feel like I might want or need it, I'm going to keep these separated. So I might come in here and do moustache as a group. And put all of the components in here. Okay, we're definitely going curly. Like I care anyway. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We're really having an emotional moment in the chat right here. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, let me drag some of these out of here for a second, at least these two. I'm going to this is going to be my base color. I'm going to add in another group called Laugh up here. My coffee is cold. I'm upset because it's in a non-microwavable mug and I do not want to pour it into another mug just to warm it up. So, cold coffee for me. I mean, I have a facepalm emote, but I'm not sharing the facepalm emote right now. Because although it's being commissioned, it hasn't been decided whether it's going to be used on the YouTube side of things, and I think it's unfair to tease people. So we will see. You might see them later on. Hi Stella, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. So we got a good base. We got a good base. I think I'm gonna put in the glasses. I'm actually gonna unhide this red line. So we're gonna do the nose and the glasses. There's my palette. Because we got the black circular glasses over here. I don't need you anymore. We're gonna come in. Let's do nose and glasses. So, nose. Am I buzzing? What am I buzzing for? Am I getting a phone call? Is that what's going on here? No idea what I'm buzzing for. Sometimes phones just do this. So let's go and grab my orange. And throw a colour over here. Let's see how we feel about this. Those were on the same layer. Terrible person, terrible artist. What are we doing with our lives? How could you possibly make that mistake? And then I can hide this red line. I like the outline colour, do not like the interior colour. Let's hide this for a second. It does have a little bit of a dimple in the middle. So let's delete this. So we like the outline colour, we don't like the interior colour. So let's grab a different colour, maybe go a little bit more orange but on the same tone. And come in like this. No, I don't need that for colouring. Nope. Somewhere more like this. This. Much better colour. Not too intrusive. Not taking away from anything else that's already here. And that will do. Let me go down to my palette and I'm gonna come in and steal this colour away because we're not using this one. And oh, I've got my mirror on. Come in and throw this one on there as my schnoz. I knew that wasn't going to be a particularly difficult one to do. Now for some glasses, which is probably going to frustrate the ever-living heck out of me. This is going to be a grayscale situation. We're not doing black, because if I do full black on top of what we've already got, which are some fairly like pastel-y type colours. Oh. Excuse me? Oh, it's because I'm on eraser rather than... If I throw a black on here, it's gonna look wild. Just gonna absolutely dominate the whole thing. And that's not what we're here to do. So I need to pick out some greys. Means it might be a good idea to change my background to something that isn't black. Let's go for my white and then come in and grab some greys. So if we come in with a point. Oh, still on the circle. This is going to be much too light because we're trying to convey that it's black, even if it is grey. So I'm thinking somewhere in here. Mid-range grey. Remove this red line and give it like a good scribble through all of this to see how it looks in comparison to the other colours that we've got there at the moment. It looks very almost blue, even though we've got it in the over in the red side. It's got no blue in it whatsoever, but it's because we're going fully desaturated of colour. We could add a base colour into it, because technically if you add blue into something, it's more likely to look more saturated as a black colour, because it's just one of those things. Could keep like on an orangey or a red vibe as an undertone, just to tie it in a little bit better. But then we are going to have some blue eyes. So maybe we go somewhere between the two, like a pinky tone. No, I hate that. I hate it. I think I prefer the blue undertone. A little bit of contrast isn't going to kill anybody. I mean, I suppose it's going to mostly be on top of the skin. So really, the part that counts is how it looks on top of the skin. And these are like minute differences in colour. But you can tell there is definitely a colour difference here. I think actually looking at the colour differences, this looks better. Okay, so at least now we've got an idea of the colour. We're doing a red undertoned grey. Let's pull up our red line. We're gonna go symmetry. We're not doing any shape on the glasses, I don't think. I think we're gonna go full dark line on these. So let's see if I can grab a good spot, a good middle of this circle, so that I can slam it in where I've already put my drawing. Almost perfectly slammed it right in there. Let's hide this red line. Looks cursed. Oh my god. Oh my god, that looks beyond cursed. Dang. Ooh. that right there. Cursed image of the century. Holy cow. Let me take this down and put it in my in my palette layer. Oh dear. That should not entertain me so much. Make them full dark so they look like cocoa. We can definitely do that. We can colour these in so that you look like a cocoa situation. Oh dearie me. That, I should not find that so funny. Let's like drop a solid 10 in here so it's not so difficult to colour in. Although it helps if I colour within the lines. Already looks terrifying. There you go. BuBubbi Cocoa version. Honestly, it looks more cursed hollow than it does filled in, because this just looks like sunglasses. Like, if I filled in the parts, it just looks like sunglasses. So it doesn't look too bad like this, I think. Like, the filled in version looks so much more cursed. The unfilled version even. Like, that looks horrendous. Because you've got no eyes. Just, oh dear. Oh dear. Let's carry on doing our lines for these glasses. Try and make it a little bit less of a cursed image. At least a little bit less. Oh, we are on a 10 and we want more like a 5. Let's add a little bit of correction in here. how we feel about that. No, maybe we do want a little bit thicker. Maybe somewhere around an 8. Not quite a 10. I feel like 10 was too thick. I feel like this is too thick also. Not by much. Why is it not correcting my line? Maybe we do need full correction for this. Because it's such a contrast from the colour behind it. It's picking up like every single little wobble. That's not too bad, but where it joins is a little weird. Maybe we want to blend it a little better. Let's remove that if we're going to be doing some blending. Some blending. I think that's a little better. Little better. And then actually realizing that this red line doesn't have the edges of the frames like some of the others do. Do you have the edges of the frames like some of the others do? Let's unhide you. Yes, you do. So let's borrow you to do some edges that probably aren't going to go out as far as they do on here. But actually we could, because these... Let's do the 8 on these. Bottom line looks good. Top line looks a bit wobbly. So maybe we come back down to something a little smaller and do some correction just for this top line. Ooh. Coming in a bit hot. A little more like this. Yes. These corrections should always be underneath. Looking good. make sure that that smudge in there is not from this. Can we hide this one? We got some glasses. So we've got like a full base color minus the eyes. How many of the emotes actually have open eyes? And there is a way of me finding this out pretty easily. But so of the 6 that we're gonna do, only 2 of them actually have open eyes. Like properly open eyes, and they're all different kinds of eyes. So I might do the eyes separately rather than as part of the base color. Let's see, of all of the line art I have done, we've got 1, 2. So 2 of the secret hush hush ones have open eyes. And only 2 of our red line ones have open eyes. They've mostly got closed eyes or other eyes. One of the eyes would have to be an edit anyway. So I'm not going to put the eyes on this base because the eyes are going to change a lot. Which is also why I haven't put a mouth on this base. But I think we've got a good start, good base here. And it's taken us 2 hours to get here. Oh dear. There is like a bit of a bump in the middle of these glasses. From where the line comes in. You just fill that in a little bit. As always, corrections underneath before I merge them in. And I've actually kept this layer as an option. Because I like to keep some of the silly things that we do. Okay, and then any drawing we are going to do on these is going to be on top of this base layer. So this base color I'm going to drag down to just above all of our palette and our reference image and all of that. We wanted to do a laugh first. So there's our red line for the laugh. I mean, it's past 6 o'clock from me, but then again, the coffee in my house is decaf, so I suppose it's a little less bad. A little less bad. And then we're going to make our edits to this image in here. So if we do, what are we going to need? We're going to need mouth. We are going to need eyes. We're going to do the tears. The brows can go in eyes. And that's about it for separations for these. So Eyes will probably be the easiest place to start from here. Actually, tears is definitely going to be on top. Eyes has got to go underneath tears, and mouth doesn't really matter where it goes, but it might be shuffled around. We'll see. Might be. Maybe, might be. Now here's the thing. I've left the squares on this red line to show where the open eyes would usually be. This shape is incredibly difficult to draw in a way that's clean, so I might leave this as like a general closed eye. So let me grab like our outline color and add maybe a bit more orange into it and make it darker and less saturated before I even attempt to come in for a line that could possibly be an eye. Now I'm gonna grab up a reference image. For these kinds of closed eyes, about whether we want to do tears coming out of the top line or the bottom line, because I've gone top line here, but I know you can do it either way. Okay, so I'm seeing either way is basically the general consensus here. So how about in Animal Crossing New Horizons? I think the only one that does a face like this is the Cry React. So let's take a look at an image of that. And the tears seem to come out of the bottom line rather than the top. So I think we might go bottom line for this. It's almost 11 AM here. Wow. No, this is the crying laughing emote, this one. So let's just slam on something. Let's maybe go between these two lines for this. Why do I not have my mirror layer on? Like I said, work smarter, not harder. So right now, this looks like he's sneezing, which isn't a terrible thing. Not a terrible thing at all. Someone's cutting onions. In the game, with the open eyes, the eyebrows look the same color as the outside of the eye. Even though, like, I don't know whether they're supposed to be brows or lids for this particular eye shape, but I've chosen to pretend like they're brows. But I might do these as a different color. Your brows in real life look non-existent, much like myself. Blonde-haired people problems. So maybe this sandy color might not be an awful shout for trying to do a little brow number. Although apparently our corrective doesn't want to do any work today. It's like, no, you do it. Better. And then erase the part that's on top of the hair. I'll fix this line another time, not right this very second. In fact, I might move. Let's undo that for a second. Let's move this layer down slightly. Undo that. I just want to move it down. That will do. And then erase this. Looks a little weird being the same colour, but could be worse. Could be far, far worse. So we're going to hide that one for now and go into his. I'm going to grab a blue. Do we go blue or do we go white? Or, well, they're probably going to have a white highlight in them anyway. Let's have a look at some other examples of crying emotes. They generally go more blue with a white highlight. But the Animal Crossing React definitely looks more white to me. But then, of course, they don't do the full teardrop in this kind of shape either. Then again, we're not exactly going realistic here because there are definitely no lenses in these glasses if these tears are leaping out of your eyes and over the glasses, which is exactly what we're going to be doing here. Am I doing, yep, doing one-sided again. Let's try that again. Actually, I might want to pull it away from the eye slightly. Outline always on top. Colour in underneath. Oh, without that on, because that's how you end up with holes. And then on top of that, grab a white and put in some kind of highlight. Although we don't actually have a light source in any, because we don't have any shading on this. So this is probably going to be maybe our only highlight. If we go this more simplistic, we might add in some shading. Decaf, what's the point? I think you're a bit behind on the stream, J Large, if you're only hearing about the decaf now. That's not a terrible highlight. Like, it's pretty standard, more like a balloon highlight. Let's see. we can come up with some other highlight options. Let's Google water drop for like a cartoony look. They generally either go for the one line or the dot, not a combination of the two. Also, hi J Large. Do I have a... Knowing me, it's gonna have the 4 in it if I've got it on here somewhere. Let's hide this one. Add in another option. We could do just a dot. Hide this one, or we could do just a line. Although I want it to be a smoother line than that, so we got some highlight options for this tier. We got a line, we got a dot. Don't like the dot, but that might be the positioning of the dot. So let's remove the dot and we can add in a different dot option. Where are we putting this dot? You've got to be kind of off center. I was putting it to central, so let's put it like more up here. Could always do like a smaller dot as well. We got like a 1 dot, a 2 dot. Don't really like 2 dot. Or 1 dot for that matter. I think I prefer the line. Wow, that was a weird face. I thought you meant the face I'm drawing was a weird face, because that is also a weird face. I do have the command on this channel. I just don't remember what it is, because I have a lot of similar commands to you. But I don't remember my own commands, because I know that some of them are different on here to on yours, which that's annoying, because on this PC it's logged me out of my own Nightbot to log me into your one. I don't want to do that. Let me... Oh no, my phone's going to be logged into your one, because I always look at yours on here. Let's log out of this one and log into my own one. See what's going on in here. Hello. Silly thing. Commands. I know I definitely have it on here. I just don't remember what I put it as. No, it is. It's exactly what... Well, I might have typed it in wrong. I know why it didn't come up. Because actually I spelt it wrong on the command itself. Which doesn't really help. Let's try it now. Because otherwise it's JL45RGE, which pretty sure it's not. Managed to fat finger another number in there and didn't notice until right now. Gonna go read bedtime story for Magnus. Okie dokie. And there we go. We got that J large link going on. So I think the dots we don't like. Well, I don't like, and that's like the main thing. I prefer just the line. So I'm actually going to get rid of this one. and leave that as the tears for now. No outline or anything, just keeping them simple. And then we just need a mouth situation. No, I did the mouth on this one massive. What does it look like on Animal Crossing New Horizons? Laugh reaction. Yeah, sure, that works. Not quite as big as I've drawn it on here, but still following a similar theme, so that's not too bad. I don't want to do this color on here because this is gonna look real weird. So I'm actually gonna grab this base color. I'm gonna come up to somewhere a lot less saturated and maybe a little darker, and maybe do that as the outline for the mouth, like a brown. No, something tells me no. Purple could work. Oh dear. We are inspiring people to pick up old hobbies. Hi Natty, welcome in. I know I definitely don't have your link on my Nightbot, but we can fix that because I'm subscribed to when you've got like 100 channels that you're subscribed to, putting every single one as a command on the Nightbot is just like unattainable. And then they never show up, so in fact, let's do Natty rather than AC. Otherwise it'll just be like, yeah, exclamation mark Animal Crossing. It'll get a bit weird. Whoops. Helps if I finish writing my thing. Hello? Where did that go? Here. Let's do that. This one, this one, this one. And we're gonna try to see if this works. That on the fly Nightbot edit, so that I don't have to do it again in the future because I will forget. Hello, Nightbot, you awake, bro? There we go. Okay. Let me hide the red line for this mess. And probably the palette, actually, because we're doing the mouth right now. So this is what we got right now. We're doing this like crying, laughing emote, and we're working on the mouth for this situation. We can 100% talk about some bot options if you wanna like DM me on Discord, or if you join the Discord server, I actually have an area hidden in my server called Creators Corner. It's got like the self promo section, some stream resources, you know, what I have on my setup and some other things that people have been like, I find this helps me, and I'm like, okay, I'll add that in there for if somebody else might like to explore those options. So I've got some stuff over there if you are a streamer or you would like to be a streamer in the future. I've got a couple of things over there that might help you out. But today we are not doing Animal Crossing or any gameplay. We're doing art, which is a thing we do occasionally on this channel because it's what I do when I'm a little bit burnt out. The Discord is in the description, or we can do !Discord if I can spell, which is like a fat rip no today, like 9 times out of 10. Which is why we're not doing any like written work today. I mean, we could, because this is funny. Just, oh, we've got our mirror on. Just put, this works for an emote, right? Ah. There will be some text on this. There will be like a giant ha. Just a HA exclamation mark, because that's how BuBubbi laughs. But the like color and text behind that I might do on a different application rather than handwriting it. We'll see. Would you please make a surprise fish emote for me, please? I mean, you can message me on the Discord about some emotes, but here's the thing, Jason, I don't do them for free. I think the only thing I've offered to do for free for somebody since I started doing commission work is I offered, because Jelly was on about quitting doing one of her islands that she started that she really wanted to do, and I was like, if you complete it, I will do you like a rendered map for you to post on your socials and stuff. I think that's the only thing. Oh, I mean, for BuBubbi stream, no, there will not be a fish emote because you can only have a set amount of emotes. So there will not be a surprise fish emote on BuBubbi streams. They're all going to be in this style. And I mean, he might want one for over on the Discord in future, but obviously then he'd have to pay for that, and asking me to do something that somebody else would have to pay for is a little unreasonable. But we need to put a mouth on this bad boy, so I need to figure out what color I want to put as the mouth. Like, obviously this is going to be tiny, so I'm probably going to change like the color for the eyes and the eyeboos, the eyebrows, whatever we want to call them. So maybe we should look at this color. Maybe I should look at what Animal Crossing uses for theirs. They use like a brownish color. So if we come into like a reddy brown, they use like a deep reddy brown, a little bit more on the unsaturated side. Somewhere in here. Maybe not quite this dark, but something similar to this. Oh yeah, I've got this on. I feel like this might be too dark for this kind of situation. Excuse you, I don't know what that line was. Oh, it's because I'm underneath the eye layer. I mean, it definitely works better for showing up at the size that it's probably going to be. So we might give it a go for being a little bit darker. So let's bring our red line back and pop in a mouse. Let's have a look at our laugh reaction over on my other monitor. Because I've made this rather tall when really the laugh reaction doesn't have this tall of a mouth. It definitely has this big of a mouth, but not this tall. Let's grab my mirror, work smarter, not harder, all that jazz. Maybe minimize it down a little bit because it's going to be a little bit hidden anyway. So something a little bit more like this. Whoa. Obviously, parts of this are going to be hidden by the mustache. Inside of the mouth, always going to be pinks and reds. So let's go and grab us maybe a little bit more reddish than that. A little bit desaturated. I think somewhere like this for the tongue. Let's put this underneath these layers that we've just done. No, let's not throw it off of the layer board completely. This app gets silly sometimes when I'm moving layers around and it will just completely disappear them. just here, right between those. Yeah, that'll do. And put in a tongue. My own custom message now. I want to... Here's the thing. If you go on Twitch and you type in this message without the not parentheses, the speech marks around it, the first line here, want to become famous or want to be famous or anything along those lines, will be picked up by a lot of bots as spam, because there is a notorious spam bot on Twitch where the first line of the chat message is want to be famous, and it's basically advertising botting in people's chats, view bots and things like that for people who want to game the system. So I think you might struggle with that, and I'd probably change the first line like straight away off the bat, because I know quite a few channels that have that in their blacklist of sentences that you just simply cannot say on the channel without being timed out, banned, whatever. So let's colour this in. So there's a tongue. Bit of a messy one, but something's better than nothing. And then we want something a little bit darker and redder for behind it. So something a little bit more like this. So inside of the mouth, great. Outline, hate it. And I think it's just as much the colour as it is the thickness of the line. So I might do a thinner line for the outline of the mouth. So if we go right down to a 2, I'm going to grab this fleshy colour and see how much I hate doing this line. We can always grab these colours back from here and build them back up if we want to. Why is my not 23 2 getting real good at fat fingering those numbers? Add not that one, some correction back into this, because I foresee this going terribly wrong. Okay, that was a pretty smooth line. And that line also wasn't too bad. Do need to put something in the middle to join them up properly. The lines weren't bad. I need to sneeze. Oh dear, bless me. Glad that I managed to mute before that almighty sneeze demon came out of me, because I am one of those people that sneezes incredibly loudly. Wake up all the neighbours, although then again it's 7:30 for me right now, so probably not wake them up, but disturb them at the very least. Okay. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. Like, I feel like the outline definitely needs to be a darker colour. As much as I know that also, like, the other facial features need to be a dark colour, but it needs to be probably darker than these, because it's got a darker background, and in contrast this looks a lot lighter than this. So as much as those lines were nice and crispy, they're gonna have to go. But maybe we can find a colour in here that we prefer. Let's grab this colour back and darken it up and desaturate it a little. And see how we feel about it. Thank you, Nightbot, for your stellar work as always. Gonna go ahead and report that bot, as we always do. So let's see how we feel about this as a colour on top of here. It looks green. It looks a little bit green. I'm not sure I'm here for this. Maybe if we put some more red into it. This is better. This color I don't hate. Maybe a little bit more red into it, because this is a very red heavy color. I feel like this is an option. So I'm gonna follow the lines that we've already got and be sorely disappointed that I can't replicate these lines, for sure. Because these are some pretty crispy lines. That wasn't half bad. And that also wasn't terrible. So let's hide these ones. And also erase that bit of white up there, because I forgot that that wasn't a blank. Wasn't an empty layer. These can disappear bye-bye completely. Much better colour. Not completely terrible or hideous. Joined pretty well, so we can hide that. Let's take a look, see how well joined we are in the middle. We can do a little bit of tweaking here. Put our main line on top of our edit before we join them together. Now we can do some scoochy doodling with these layers. I think I just want to try and pull this down a little bit. Grab this one and do some better colouring, which means we're in 144p yet again. We're zooming in all up in this close to an image this small. Don't worry, it's not your stream. I'm literally looking at the same image you are right now. I'm not getting any better quality out of it. But this is just what pixels look like when you're that close to something this small, because this image is like what, 480 by 480. Like at 100% size is around here. So it's gonna look a bit weird sometimes. Oh, I'm on the wrong color for that layer. Let's grab this color again and make sure we go right to our edge. Maybe a little bit denser up on the side. Bit better. Bit better. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is something absolutely terrible. I'm gonna come into my base color. Have I ran out of music playlist? Is that what I'm hearing right now? Yeah, we can start again. I'm gonna come into my base color. I'm gonna grab the beard, go into the moustache, and I'm gonna grab this bottom line, and I'm gonna select it, copy it, and paste it. I'm gonna grab this pasted layer, and I'm gonna drag it all the way up to where I'm working in the sketch layer. Oh, where did that disappear off to? Why do these things do me dirty like this? It didn't even leave the where it was. Put it in here. So it's on top of the mouth. I can close all of this up now. In fact, I can probably get away with putting it inside the mouth folder, just for the sake of keeping things tidy. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna try and place it on top of where the moustache is in the base layer. Easier said than done. Let's go into my base and lower the opacity a little. That looks pretty bang on to me. Let's turn up the opacity on both of these again. I think actually what I want to do is, instead of erasing anything on the base, we add to the corners just to hide this. Oh, that looks a bit weird. We don't want it going like that. Why are we doing this right now? Let's go to the 5. Making a bit of an odd edge right now. That's okay, we can blur some edge. Let's change the size of this. Not small. Blur some of that colour edge. Oh dear. There's something weird going on here. I just can't put my finger on what's gone wrong. Okay. It's not a perfect cover-up job because something is like somewhat weird and pixely is going on the edges, but it'll do for now. We can faff with that a little later. Not in a red line. Where am I now? Where am I again? I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna grab this colour that I made for around the mouth. And I'm gonna try it for the eyes and such. So I'm gonna put it over the top of what we've already got. Gonna come in with some of this. We are on a 5 again, that's okay. Don't quite want it to touch that teardrop. Something like that. Join together, curving up. Like this. And then some eye boos. Not up there, further down, so we don't have to move them down again. Our correction is not doing much for us at the moment. It's like this line, too small. Doesn't need any correction. Nobody cares, Sarah. Only you. This line, not awful. It'll do. And then I'm gonna turn off that and this and come in and erase some of this. And then come into our base color. Come into hair. Come into here and steal this line. Probably just a section of this line actually. I don't need the whole thing. Just around this eye boo area. Copy and paste it. I'm gonna drag it out of here. Whoa, not like that. Where did you go? Hi bud, excuse me? Out of here. Out of the base color and up into the eyes area, wherever that may be. Where did it go? Oh dear. Put it all the way at the top of here. And I need to move it up slightly. Looks good. I mean, it's definitely getting the point across. Maybe we could make the tears a bit bigger to exaggerate it a bit. So let's hide what we've got so far. We can add in another. In fact, let's bring this back because I quite like the colour that we had. And then remove it again. Can come in and unhide the red line just as a reference. Nothing too crazy, but with the size of these tears, yes, something crazy. Where did I put this dot that I have hidden somewhere? Can go away. Turn him into Dumbo. Just give him some ginormous ears. I'd have to change the size of the canvas for that. Okay, let's do some correction. Start here and go enormous. Maybe that's too enormous. Not shapely enough. It's not a terrible shape. I didn't have it on mirror. I hate myself. Oh dear. Not there. A little bit further out. I want it going upwards. Decent shape. Decent shape. Now let's add another layer underneath and turn off the predictive, and we can do some color up underneath this outline. And then grab some white on another layer and redo our shine dilemma. Oh, what is that for a line? Excuse you? How rude. What is going on with this? Maybe it needs to be thicker. Let's try doing it on the other side, because this is a more comfortable angle for something of this size. Why? Oh, I'm doing it underneath that layer when I need it on top. Shaking my head at myself. Let's bring it back down to a 5, now that I know that the problem is just me. Yep, posture check is a good idea. Nightbot, how did you know that I was slouching right now? Give myself a good stretch before my watch tells me that I should, even though it's still going to tell me off because I'm still sat down. The way this thing is going, it's going to be like, here is an Amazon reference for you to buy yourself a standing desk so I can stop telling you to stand up. Okay. So let's hide our red line and see how we feel about this. Or are we gone too exaggerated from one extreme to the other? Because it is a fair difference between the two. Like, these are tiny. And we went mahoosive. Do we prefer small or big? Or should we go somewhere in between? Obviously, there's going to be the text in this as well. So if I go add a layer on here, I'm going to grab red just for big. Big for sure. Honestly, they need to be bigger than the little ones. Because, I mean, let's put it this way. If it's going to be a tiny little emote, you're probably better off going the more exaggerated. Let me have some corrective on my own handwriting, because why not? This is essentially what it's going to look like. It's just going to have that single hair somewhere over here. Probably not in this font or text. Like I said, I might do the text on a different thing, or even in this color for that matter. Actually, in the red line has a little hair that's basically in the same area. I've moved it over slightly. So there's essentially emote number 1. I'm gonna do a couple saves, emotes. Let's put this over here for a second, drag it off my screen. I'm gonna do save the separate layers first, obviously. And then do a PNG for Laugh EX. Yes, we can join those together. And I'm also going to do one without the text. There is a reason behind it being ha rather than lol, and that's because it's a specific BuBubbi reference. Because whenever he well, not every time he laughs at something, I think it's more often when he laughs at something that I'm doing, or, you know, when he has a good belly laugh at something, it tends to be that he'll let out one big ha before he'll continue laughing, or sometimes that ha will be followed by like a silent laugh or a wheeze. It's a very, very specific thing. Like, we could do a lol option. We could do a lol option. Oh, I don't like that line. Like, a lol option definitely works. Does feel a little less personal. Because I feel like BuBubbi isn't really a lol kind of man. Yeah, the transparent background version will be for whenever I've added the text into it, obviously. Whatever the final text is going to be. Because this is not going to be it. This is just like options. Some options. because I think actually the one that's going to define what text I actually use for it is probably going to be the hype one, the hype emote. So if I hide all of the laugh stuff that we've put on top of the base color, and we put in the red line for the hype, like obviously the text is a focal point of this one. So I feel like if I nail whatever I want the text to be on this, then I can add the text in onto the hat or the lol or whatever I want the laugh one to be, and have it follow the same theme. Whereas I feel like this one is going to be more of a struggle to make it fit in. This is more of a focal point, so I'll probably nail the text on this one and then do the same style for the laugh ones. I'm not doing the text for the laugh one right now. Like I said, I'm going to do that on a separate application just to make sure it's all nice and clean and crispy. Maybe I want some back highlights or some outlines, some borders and things that I can't necessarily do on here very well. So we'll see. We shall see. So we got a laughy boy. So there is one done for today. How long has that taken me? Although I should imagine next time I'll be able to get through about 2. So we've been going for about 3 hours. I need to make dinner because I don't have pre-cooked food for today. Although sometimes I do. Today I don't. So it might be like a frozen pizza in the oven kind of day, if I'm honest. But I feel like now that we've got the base, it's going to be a little bit quicker to get through some of these options. So I might get through 2 or 3 the next time. So I might do 2 next stream and 2 the other stream, depending on how I'm feeling. But I think we are going to call this here. We are, however, going to take a look through my tuber view and see who is live to do a cheeky little raid somewhere, maybe. It's got Smash Bros. Not really interested in that personally for myself. Mario and Sonic at the Winter Games, no. We do have a couple of Animal Crossings though. I'm gonna pick this one. So I'm gonna do !raid. I'm gonna drop in this link and I'm gonna say thank you to everybody for joining me today. Thank you for the 19 likes on the stream. Thank you to everybody who subscribed, and we are gonna go and raid our friend Kuri, who is live right now. Yeah, I did see Mum's Crossing is also live. I had to sort of choose between the two, and I think Kuri had less viewers when I looked. So let's go and head over and support Kuri. There are some links in the description for my artwork and the Discord if you want to check out any of that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.